Hey folks, here's the solutions to the first one. So this is a rectangular prism, okay? Front, back, two sides, and top and bottom. Now it's made up of three different pairs. So our front and back, I put length times width here, but we know that we can just call that the horizontal by the vertical. So the front and back, the horizontal is 8 and the vertical is 16. So we multiply that together. I times it by 2 so that we could include the back. Okay, the front is just 8 times 16, but then we multiply it by 2 to get both. We get 256 centimeters squared. The sides, the horizontal is 3, the vertical is the same as this, right? So the horizontal is 3, the vertical is 16, times 2 again for the other side, 96 centimeters squared. Then we have the top and bottom. So the horizontal by the vertical. Now I understand these are both on the bottom, but it's basically like you just take the two dimensions. So this dimension, we have to multiply it by the only other dimension that would make sense for the top and bottom, and that's this 3 here. So we're going to have 8 times 3, and then times it by 2 again to get the top and the bottom together. These three numbers, 256 centimeters squared plus 96 centimeters squared plus 48 centimeters squared. When we add these three numbers up, that will give us the total surface area, which is 400 centimeters squared. Okay, for the triangular prism here, it has 5 sides. The front and back are the same triangles, right? This side and then the back. So front and back, then we have 2 sides, this sort of back side here, this slanted side here, and then we have the bottom, okay? So the front and back are triangles, the 2 sides and the bottom are rectangles, okay? So horizontal, vertical, right? I put base and height here, but again, these words get switched around and like, well, which one's the base? Which one's, well, what happens if I look at it this way? Don't get hung up on which one's the base, which one's the height, okay? As long as you're multiplying horizontal by vertical, you're good to go. So for these triangles, the horizontal is 7, the vertical is also 7. And because it's a triangle, we're going to divide it by 2. So 7 times 7 divided by 2. Okay, that's what I did here. But then I'm going to times it by 2 because I need the back as well, because the back and the front of this shape are identical. So 7 times 7 divided by 2 times by 2 gives us 49 centimeters squared. The sides, rectangle here, so this is 7 by 2, which is 14. This slanted side here is 2 by 9.9, which gives us 19.8 centimeters squared. And then the bottom is 7, okay, by 2. So 7 times 2 gives us 14 centimeters squared. And when we add these numbers up, 49 plus 14 plus 19.8 plus 14, we get 96.8 centimeters squared. Okay, and then the last one here is a cylinder. Okay, it's got a circle here and a circle on the back. Then it has this roundy middle part. Okay, that's all it has. The circles are identical. To find the area of a circle, we take pi, we times it by the radius, then by the radius again, because it's radius squared. And I'm putting times 2 here because I want to include the front and the back. So 3.14 times 4.5 times 4.5 times 2 is 127.17. Now really quick here, this 4.5, where did I get that? Well, this diagram is showing that this line across the this is a chord that goes across the circle from one edge to the other, passing through the center. That's called the diameter. So I only want half of it for this formula. So half of 9 is 4.5. Okay, so 3.14 times 4.5 times 4.5 times 2 to include the front and the back, I have 127.17 centimeters squared. This roundy middle part is a rectangle, and its dimensions, one is easy to get. Clearly it's going to be 55. But the second dimension is the circumference of the circle, okay? So this is like the length of it, which is 55. And I'm multiplying it by the circumference of the circle. The formula to find the circumference is pi times the diameter, okay? So we end up with 55 times pi times the diameter. And the diameter is what's given. It gave us the diameter of 9, so we're just using it. 55 times 3.14 times 9 gives us 1,554.3. And then all we have to do again, just like these other ones, is add these up. So 127.17 plus 1,554.3 is 1,681.47, and we're talking about surface area, so area is centimeters squared. And that's how you do those. Okay? Remember to email me if you have any questions, and yeah, that's it for now.